Here we are looking at the segregation of duty rules. To access this page, I went to System Administration, Security, Segregation of Duties, and then Segregation of Duty Rules. As I had mentioned before, I had created already the Approved Purchase Order and Maintain Vendor Invoice conflict down here. One of the downsides to the segregation of duties functionality within Microsoft is if I establish a rule with these out-of-box Approved Purchase Order and Maintain Vendor Invoice duties, and a user is assigned a role with the equivalent duties that have just been duplicated and renamed, the conflict will not appear for the user even if the underlying permissions are identical. So your results from the segregation of duties functionality within D365 could have some gaps in it if you're often creating custom duties, roles, or privileges. Now I'm going to show you how to create a new SOD rule. So you go to New, type in the name of the rule, we'll enter the name of the first duty. I'm going to add in the custom duties that I just created. If you click on the duty name column header, you'll be able to filter for what you're looking for. I'm going to filter for begins with the AA underscore. Here you can set the risk level. I'm going to keep it at low for now. The security risk is the risk description, and the security mitigation is if you have a mitigating control in place. So when you're done, you'll click Save, and then you'll see you get this option to validate duties and roles. This will validate that your existing duties and roles do not have the conflict that you just added. So you'll see I'm thrown an error that the AA test role is in violation of the rule that I just created, the purchase orders and fixed assets. For now, I'm going to exit out of this error. Now I'm going to show you what happens if we assign the AA test role to an active user. I'm going to go to Modules, System Administration, and then Assign Users to Roles. On this Assign Users to Roles page, you can see that in the left window we have the list of roles available to assign. In this top pane right here, you can create rules to automatically assign users to roles by writing a query. In the Users Assigned to Roles page, here's where you can manually assign or exclude users to a role. To do this process, in the left pane you would select which role you would like to assign. In our case, we are interested in assigning the AA test role. So I'd click on this role and then choose Manually Assign or Exclude Users. For this example, I will assign the role to myself. I would check my own name and then choose Assign to Role. You can also choose to exclude from this role and also choose to select multiple users at once. As you can see, assigning this role to myself results in a segregation of duties conflict, so it throws me an error, asking if I would like to resolve the conflict now. Here's where you would click yes or no. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to select no and show you how to access these unresolved conflicts. If I exit out, you'll see that I'm still not assigned to this role. A user cannot be assigned to a role until the SOD conflict is either denied or allowed. So to allow or deny the assignment, you go to the Modules window, System Administration, and then Segregation of Duties Unresolved Conflicts. Here we'll see the existing role that is being tried to assign to my own username, and the segregation of duties conflict that it violates. So if I click on this rule right here, I can choose to either allow this assignment or deny this assignment. Allowing the assignment would mean that I'm able to assign this AA test role to Amy Mickle, my own username. If I deny the assignment and I try to assign myself this AA test role, I will be thrown an error that I cannot perform this action. So for this purpose, I will allow the assignment. Here you can type your reason for override. I'll put test. And now you'll see we have no remaining unresolved conflicts. If I go back to assign users to roles and try to assign this role to myself again, you'll see that I am now assigned to this role. Because I had allowed the assignment on the unresolved conflicts page, I am now allowed to be assigned. Now if I try to assign this to another user, I will be thrown the error again until I either allow the assignment or deny the assignment to Brooke. For now, I'm going to select no. And that is how the segregation of duties conflicts functionality works. It is important to note that the segregation of duties functionality does not come pre-configured with any rules. This means that you'd have to create your own rule set and then import the rule set manually yourself. Another possible downside is that the rule set is based at the duty level and not the lowest level of security. This can result in potential false positives and false negative risks. False positives are when it appears that a risk exists, however it does not. And on the opposite side, false negatives are when a risk does not show up as being a risk, however it is one. Ideally, we would like to be able to set the risks at not the duty level, but at the securable object level. This is the lowest level of security, and this will ensure that risks are detected accurately. If you're interested in knowing which security objects are associated to a certain page, you can go to any page of interest. Here I am on the Vendors on Hold page. I would go to Options, then Security Diagnostics. This will pull up the pane of all security objects that grant the active security entry point. For example, the Role Auditor provides the ability to access the Vendors on Hold page, but it also goes down to the duty and privilege level. This can be a useful tool for when you're building out roles, duties, or privileges if you are unsure of how to access the Vendors on Hold. Another helpful feature is that security configuration can be exported and imported across environments. This can be helpful when you're transferring the security configuration from a test environment to a production environment. To access this page, I went to System Administration, Security, and then Security Configuration. In order to export the data, I'll go to Data and then Export. This will download the data in an XML format. To import, I'll go to Data and then Import. From here, you can choose to browse your files. Here you can select the XML format, and then you'll see that the file has been successfully imported. When you export and import the data, it is exporting and importing the data that is above the standard out of the box. So here you can see in unpublished objects, you'll see any of the changes that we made that did not come as part of the out of the box. Because I just imported these items, they are not live within D365. If I would like to make the changes, I can select and publish all.